have been plenty of speculation that there might be some form of protest. And the captain's armband has been talked about a lot, and indeed with Denmark's Simon Kjær, who was very frustrated yesterday that he wasn't allowed to wear the One Love captain's armband, but felt that any potential suspensions would possibly make that gesture one that was seen not to be worthwhile. But anyway, Manuel Neuer and the rest of his German teammates, as you were saying, covering their mouths during that team photo. Well, seldom have Die Mannschaft had as big a point to prove. Champions in 2014, a campaign that incorporated that staggering semi-final demolition of host Brazil. They put up a lame defence of their crown, their first group stage exit in 80 years, having only gone one better in the European Championships. Their longest-serving manager, Joachim Löw, was given the flick, and so with Hansi at the helm, they're back again, slowly improving. But as England will testify, you can't necessarily read too much into the results of a disappointing Nations League campaign. That long-term loss of form has had an effect. As number 2 seeds in the draw, they've been pitched into a group with Spain, making the need to hit the ground running essential ahead of that mouth-watering showdown on Sunday. Opponents Japan, ranked inside the world's top 25. They've got a raft of players based in Germany. 5 of those 8 start this afternoon. Japanese have set themselves a target of becoming world champions by 2050. And there is a cautious optimism amongst the Samurai Blue. They can make up for their late collapse in the round of 16 at the last World Cup. It's Germany that get us underway. White shirts with a dark, thick, black central stripe. Japan in blue shirts and white shorts. Kick from right to left in this first half. Germany having played the ball forward, see it returned over their defensive line, but Neuer can come outside the penalty area to be able to sweep up, give a first touch for the relatively inexperienced Schlotterbeck, who gave away penalties in both of Germany's games against England in the Nations League. As a touch for his centre-half partner Rudiger, back for Schlotterbeck again. And this is a match, Tony Cascarino, in which we expect that Germany will have plenty of possession. Japan will be quite comfortable with that. They'll sit back, try and soak it up, because in transition they can be excellent.
Well, Jim, first of all, the forward line of Germany was the one we thought it would go, would be Musiala on the left, Gnabry on the right, and Kai Havertz has been supported by Thomas Müller. So you can pretty much see their objective is to get the ball and be actually quite direct at times. So can the Japanese handle, which is quite clearly going to be a style that's based on many crosses in this game, I believe.
Ball hooked forward by Tanaka, and it's going to be chased by Maida. He's got plenty of pace. Neuer coming outside his penalty area, heads it away, had to deal with it. Finds Schlotterbeck, who will play it out to the German left for Musiala. It's an excellent, good contribution from him, trying to skip round the challenge of Endo. And Germany able to pick it up on the left-hand touchline, work it back through the midfield again. Nicely done by Gnabry, trying to get himself into a shooting position. Maida coming back to defend, heads it away, and it goes out for a throw that'll be taken on the German left. A couple of minutes in, 0-0 between Germany and Japan here in Khalifa on TalkSport.
Good play there by Germany, real good interchange. Musiala getting on the ball. Good 1-2s.
That ball played inside the penalty area. Müller, it kind of hit him as he tried to control it and went back towards the edge of the box. Süle has it, playing it right back, the Borussia Dortmund player. A little bit of improvisation from Gnabry around the edge of the box, didn't quite come off, and Japan whack it away and out of play for a throw that will be taken on the German right, but inside their own half.
Well, again, I'm seeing the ball goes out wide, and when it comes in, there's 4 in a line for Germany. The 4 forwards are all in the 18-yard box. So Japan are going to have to really handle this in the early part of the game. The intentions by Germany are pretty clear.
Schlotterbeck, tall, blonde-haired defender, playing it forward to Joshua Kimmich in the midfield. So experienced. And he plays in Rudiger. Long diagonal from him. Brown chasing after it. Stretched out a left foot. Couldn't quite bring it under control. And it goes out of play for a throw that Japan will take on their right flank. Japanese losing friendly to Canada, which was played out in Dubai last week. That was their first defeat in 6 games, indeed the first time in those 6 games that they've conceded goals. A decent defensive record. They won 15 of their 18 qualifiers. and in doing so scored nearly 10 times as many goals as they conceded. So in decent form, save for that friendly defeat to Canada last week. But a lot of the game's going to be played in the half of the field in front of us. When they can break, they will try and do so quickly. Trying to release Maida here, the shaven-headed striker, and Ruger's defended him very well. Went toe-to-toe with him and just flicked it off Maida and out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Manuel Neuer away to our left-hand side. It's the second of 4 games that we're bringing on the TalkSport network today. Still 0-0 with 4 minutes gone. Finished 0-0 earlier between Morocco and Croatia. Coming up later, the other game in this group, Spain against Costa Rica, a 4 o'clock kick-off your time, and Belgium against Canada is the evening game. That kicks off at 7 with the build-up starting at 6. It's all live here on TalkSport. Ito for Japan, bringing it down the right-hand side of the penalty area, and he does win the first corner of the game. A low-driven right-footed cross, which is deflected away by the retreating Ilkay Gundogan.
Well, 2 really good bits of play there by Ito. Just a couple of minutes ago he got on the ball and nearly threaded Maida through, and now he's just won his team a corner. He wants to get it at feet and run at the left back for Germany, and now he's got the rewards of a corner.
Kamada is going across to take it, the Eintracht Frankfurt player. He's got 12 goals for them this season, their top scorer. It's going to be a right-footed away swinger, but it's easily dealt with by Gnabry, who just stooped and sends it out of play over on the far side. Oh, you'll be aware of the fact that the games other than the first games in any given day are being played in very comfortable weather conditions for the players. Not a cloud in the sky, but the sun going down here, and the second halves of these 1 o'clock games your time are all kicking off in darkness. The entire pitch covered by shadow at the moment. It's a good quick throw inside the penalty area. Canada are unable to really do anything with it. Rudiger clears it away. A little bit scrappy in the early stages. Both sides just getting a feel of the game inside the opening 5 minutes or so. Tony Cascarino.
Well, I just see a great ball being won by Endo in the middle of midfield for Japan. Getting really tight, making sure that Kai Havertz can't get a clean head up.
Germany try and bring it away again, but it's instantly whacked back upfield by Yoshida. Rudiger chasing after it down to the edge of the penalty area. He's going to get there first. He's put under pressure though by Kubo, and then Maida chases the back pass to Neuer, who can get it away and find Thomas Muller. Muller though under pressure is using his experience, flicks it off Tanaka and out of play for a throw that will be taken on the German right-hand side. Thomas Muller, Golden Boot winner in 2010, World Cup winner in 2014, but he hasn't scored a goal in tournament play in his last 14 internationals, which is a record that goes back more than 8 years now. The last one he got in that extraordinary 7-1 win against Brazil in Belo Horizonte back in 2014 in the World Cup semi-final then. Germany bring it forward with Sula, and it looked as though it was a poor ball that was overhit. That was certainly how Yoshida saw it, and was just languidly making his way back towards the dead ball line, but it was brilliantly chased by Kai Havertz, putting a real shift in, and he's cleared it out of play, stopped it going out for a goal kick, put it out for a throw, and Germany can condense things and force Nagatomo to take this throw down by his own corner flag and make the second ball a fight ball, which is flicked on by Kamada, headed back inside the penalty area. Havertz again giving chase. Nagatomo can clear. High up and under from him towards the edge of the box. Kimmich going up for it with Kamada, wins it. Lays it back for Ilkay Gundogan in the midfield. It looks as though he's going to play it to Schlotterbeck, and then changed his mind and turned into trouble, caught in possession. And Kamada will be able to release Ito, making his way forward. Ball inside the area, and Maida scores, but the flag is up. Celebrating for half a moment. He thought that he'd broken the deadlock, but he made his run too early. The assistant referee flags. It will of course be checked. Germany get away with one, because that is classic Japan. That's what they do. Turn over possession, hit you quickly on the counter-attack, and they did it devastatingly there, only for Maida to have made his run a fraction too early, and the replay shows that the decision is correct.
Yeah, clearly offside. I've got to say, you don't see Gundogan get deposed of the ball in midfield, and I've got to say Kamada breaks free and gives the ball to Ito, puts in a great ball, just probably half a yard offside, but a clear warning indication of where Japan and what they can do to this German team.
few eyebrows were raised that it was Maida that was given the nod up front today. His club teammate Kyogo Furuhashi left out of the squad. Yuya Osaka scored 10 goals in 11 games in qualifying, left out as well. Maida, the player leading the line, just made his run too early there. It was about a yard off, actually. It should have been closer than that. Here's Sula for Germany. Play forward through the midfield. Gundogan to Muller, and then it's turned out a play by Tanaka for a throw that is quickly taken by the Germans. Most observers are expecting Goretzka to get the nod in the midfield, and then there will be 5 Bayern players playing together. The 2 and the 3 in the 4-2-3-1 would all be Bavarian based, but it is Ilkay Gundogan who plays in there instead of Goretzka. Goretzka on the bench and not taking a position alongside his best mate Joshua Kimmich in the heart of the midfield. 2 players are very close on and off the field. Gundogan with a long diagonal out to the far touchline where Raum will chase. Ito, the right winger for Japan, has tracked him every step of the way and heads it out. And it goes out for a throw that is taken quickly and laid back for Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck flicking it away from Kamada. Kimmich out to Raum again, coming in off that left flank. David Raum, the Leipzig defender, more Bundesliga assists last season than anybody else in terms of defensive players, and that's cemented his position as first choice left back for his country. Germany just slowing things down again. Sula to Rudiger. Of the fullbacks, Sula will largely stay at home, so it's often a back 3 when they're in possession, Germany, because Raum will push forward whenever he can down that left-hand side, but his delivery sometimes leaves a bit to be desired, and we saw it there as he sent one sailing over Gnabry and straight out of play for a throw. It's 0-0. Japan have had the ball in the net, rightly disallowed for offside. Goalless here on TalkSport. Here's Tony Cascarino.
Well, we've seen Germany attempt the switch of play quite often in this opening period of the game. Hasn't quite worked for them yet. Both fullbacks, Sula and Raum, are looking to get in dangerous positions where they can be like wing-backs. Hasn't just worked yet.
Kimmich almost caught in possession by the lively Maida. Wouldn't be surprised if he's been told by his coach Moriyasu, go out and give me an hour's worth of energy and forward pressing, and then I'll take you off, but just give me everything you've got, run yourself into the ground, because he has not stopped so far. Schlotterbeck bringing it forward for the Germans. Out to Raum again, Raum towards the edge of the penalty area for Gundogan. It's 5 yards outside the box. Tanaka is watching his every move. Out it goes to Raum, who's been able to hook it in. Diving header away from the centre half, Itakura. Out to Ito. And whenever Japan have the opportunity to break, there's a big buzz of expectation goes up from the Japanese supporters at that end of the ground away to our right-hand side. That's the end of the Khalifa International Stadium that Japan are defending. But bar that one counter-attack, they haven't been able to get too far, and nearly all of the play has been in the half of the field that Japan are defending. It is now with Schlotterbeck playing it forward out to Raum again. Work down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Musiala trying to get himself into a position where he can cross, was denied that opportunity. Endo gets it away, and out for another German throw over on that far touchline there left. Raum is chucking it back for Schlotterbeck, and now Kimmich with time to turn in the midfield. Joshua Kimmich, who scored in both of the recent Nations League games against Italy, and with previous World Cup experience, although that 2018 World Cup experience was not favourable, so they were knocked out in the group stage for the first time in 80 years. Itakura clears again, picked up on the German right by Gnabry, and the former Arsenal man lays it back for Kimmich. Kimmich turning it with his second touch, flicks it back away from Maida to play in Rudiger. Now Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck and Kimmich exchanging passes in the midfield. Roll down the left-hand side of the penalty area where Raum goes after it. Sakai, the experienced right back, finds Ito, who clears. Rudiger lets the long ball drift over his shoulder. Maida chasing lost causes. He's going to have plenty of that to do, but he is willfully chasing everything at the moment and keeping that German back line honest.
Absolutely, the work rate of this Japanese team is exceptional. Sakai done brilliant in the right back position, made sure that the ball didn't get played through, because Raum is looking on every occasion to try and be that wing back that gets on the ball and crosses.
Here he is again. And he's done well. He's just turned it down the line. Sakai knows that Musiala's got the run on him. Played inside the penalty area. Back to Musiala on the edge of the box. Right-footed effort from distance from Kimmich. That was selflessly blocked by Tanaka, with any thought of personal cost, throwing himself into the line of fire. And Germany will build from the back again, just to bring it forward into Japanese territory. It's the first competitive meeting ever between these two nations, and the first at all since 2006, in a match that ended in a 2-2 draw, though Japan blew a 2-0 lead with only 20 minutes to go. That was what happened in their last World Cup game when they were playing against Belgium, 2-up in that round of 16 clash some 4 years ago, but ended up losing by 3-2, with Nasser Chadli scoring the winner in the 4th minute of stoppage time for Belgium to go through the quarter-finals. And as Hugh was saying in the build-up to this game, that quarter-final place that they feel that they should have had 4 years ago is very much seen as the public aspiration for the Samurai Blue this time around. That's where they feel they should be. And when you're in a group with Germany and Spain and you're happy to say that anything less than a quarter-final place is a failure, then that shows that the confidence that you've got in you, because they're going to have to take a positive result, maybe a win from one of these 2 games against Germany or Spain if they're going to make it. Ball is cleared by Sakai. He's hurt himself in the process, going in for a 50-50 with Rao, and he's just been caught, I think, as he's kicked up and kicked the ball away. He's kicked into the studs on the underside of Rao's boot, and as a result has hurt himself, and is just being assessed now by the El Salvadorian referee Ivan Barton. But it is going to be a throw. Sakai's okay, doesn't need any treatment, and we will resume.
Well, we've seen a number of nasty clashes, haven't we, Jim, in the opening of this tournament, as Kai Havertz wins a corner for Germany,
which is their first of the game, and Kimmich's going to go across to take it. He's thrown the ball from a ball boy behind the green hoardings, away behind that goal. Spots it down now it just adjusts the placing of the ball. Let's have a look at the German penalty area. 5 inside that Japanese box. Gnabry inside the 6. He's got 4 making runs from deeper, but just as they begin to make their varying runs, the referee comes across and has a word with Schlotterbeck and also Endo's, trying to keep a very close eye on him. So Kimmich will try again. Right foot, it's just lofted up. Rudiger chases, and it's not far wide. Coming in at the far post, headed it down towards goal. Gonda thought might have got a hand to it to tip it round the post. Didn't need to in the end. Did have it covered. Half decent chance from a set piece. Rudiger with the effort. Gonda watching it wide. Out of play for a goal kick, and it's still 0-0 here at Khalifa. Well, on TalkSport.
That corner was a set piece they'd obviously worked on during their preparation for this tournament, and Rudiger got round the back in the far post area, just couldn't quite get his header on target, but probably the best occasion so far for Germany.
He last scored in a match in Iceland in September last year. Tony Rudiger making only his 2nd World Cup appearance today, his previous one coming against Sweden in the solitary victory in the 2018 World Cup for the Germans, who are in possession again in the midfield, but it just rolls away from Muller. Now you'll be aware that the possession stats are very slightly different in this tournament, in that they have possession for each side, and then they also give you a figure which is what they call contested possession, where neither side are really in control of it. At the moment it's 78 to Germany, contested possession, and Japan 11 each, so it shows you that the Japanese hardly having a touch of the ball at all, but that really just fits into their game plan, because they're more than happy to soak it up and try and expose Germany's high line. And there'll be frequent occasions we've already seen, Cass, where Germany have every outfield player inside Japanese territory. That's just playing into Japanese hands potentially.
Yeah, well, they're working incredibly hard, Japan, and they're going to have to today. I think that's going to only make the difference for them. If they can do what they did in the early part of the game, rob the ball sometimes, pinch it off Kimmich or Gundogan in midfield, they really do move forward. And I think Ito certainly on the right hand wing for Japan, he looks really, his appetite to get past Raum, the left back of Germany.
The lights on here in Khalifa and beginning to take a little bit of effect as Süle plays the ball down the Germany right hand side, where Muller just got a bang round the side of the face. There's certainly no malice from Kubo as the two are trying to watch the ball over the touchline. There's a handshake between the pair of them, and Germany restart with a free kick. Thomas Müller playing his 17th game in the World Cup today, and he scored 10 goals. High ball down the German right, just about kept in by Gnabry. Did well to wrap his right foot around that. Some of the ball seemingly have gone over the line, but not all of it, and then it's just recycled to the edge of the box. Havertz leads into his man, and he's given a free kick away, which Japan will take outside the box. Largely chanceless through the opening 19 minutes or so. Still 0-0 here as we wait for the first goal of the day in the 2022 World Cup after that 0-0 draw that we brought you on TalkSport 2 earlier between Morocco and Croatia. But this is intriguing.
Yes, absolutely. And look, Germany haven't quite worked out how to get past his backline. They're getting a lot of bodies forward, a number in the 18-yard box, but they haven't found the quality pass. They're just missing that at the moment.
Free kick taken by Gonda and punted into German territory, but they're just winning everything at the moment. And Rudiger will be able to bring it forward. Those are the Japanese supporters you can hear away to our right, waving their scarves around their heads and banging drums. A sea of blue down there, only a little pocket of them in front of a number of ornate Japanese flags. Gundogan working it forward for Musiala, former England under-21 international, back out for Raum, into the feet on the edge of the box. Musiala trying to bring it on, right-footed effort from distance as well, saved. Rebound comes out and is blazed over the bar, and that was a really good opportunity for Germany. Just falling Ilkay Gundogan to where the offside flag is up. But finally they were able to make some headway in and around the edge of the Japanese penalty area, and it was a decent stop from Gonda diving away to his right.
It was, and it was a real nice interchange of passes. Gnabry finally gets on the ball, gets a shot in. Gundogan has wandered offside. The rebound just from the keeper. Gondo makes a decent enough save. Probably the best bit of play by Germany so far.
Ilkay Gundogan, another with World Cup experience in the past, although this is his first start in the tournament. Free kick is taken for the offside by the goalkeeper, out to one centre-half and then back to the goalkeeper, now out to the other centre-half into Cora. All got a little bit dangerous, so they're so desperate to play out from the back. Germany with Schlotterbeck in possession, and he will look up and give it away. He was just pinched off his toes. Now the ball played in towards Maida, and Rudiger came across and spared his fellow centre-half's blushes, blocked the cross. Schlotterbeck showing just a little bit of inexperience there in and around his own penalty areas, looking up to see where the ball was going next, and he didn't realise that Kamada was in there, who nicked possession off his toes, but they couldn't make anything of it.
Absolutely, gets pinched of the ball, Schlotterbeck. And I would say on that Kamada has really looked like a live wire for Japan. He's prepared to take a risk and get in good situation. Another corner for Japan.
So this is their second of the game. Ito stands on the edge of the penalty area. Yoshida and Itakura are both in there. Maida makes a run in towards the near post. It's actually played back outside the penalty area. Now it's flighted in towards Yoshida. And it might have been Itakura that got the last touch on it, but he's headed it wide of the near post, and it goes out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken away to our left by Manuel Neuer. Well, some sad news reaching us in the last hour or so about the passing of David Johnson, a former Everton and Liverpool man at the age of 71. Man who scored a winner in his first Merseyside derby as a 20-year-old for Everton, and then scored the winner in his first League Merseyside derby for Liverpool much later in his career. Won 4 league titles and 3 European Cups in his time at Anfield. And our thoughts go to David's family and his friends at the sad news of the Doc's passing today at the age of 71. 0-0 here, midway through the first half in Khalifa. Rudiger's in possession, finds Sula. Sula working through the midfield for Ilkay Gundogan, still inside his own half, and brings it forward over the halfway line. It's just laid off for Kimmich. Kimmich can just chip it down towards Gnabry, who controls it on his chest, then lays it back for Nicolas Sula, the right back getting forward in support, which we haven't seen too frequently in this slightly lopsided German formation. Germany win a throw, which Sula himself will take.
Musiala keeps coming inside. He's He started on the left wing and is gradually coming across to be more central and get alongside Kai Havertz. Haven't seen too much of Kai Havertz in this opening period.
They're playing as a false nine, if you like, but they just haven't been able to work the opportunities to get the best out of him. He did very well in that role, scoring a couple of goals against England in the Nations League game, Germany's last competitive international. 3-3 draw, thrilling draw at Wembley back in September. Neuer, who didn't play in that game, has it now and plays it forward for Schlotterbeck, who did, who gave away a penalty. Rudiger controlling it, playing it 4-4 Schlotterbeck, although Gundogan came back and actually intercepted the pass intended for his teammate and cleverly works a little reverse ball down through the midfield. Muller back into the penalty area. It's knocked away before it got to Havertz. Sakai covering well. Schlotterbeck steps across and wins it back, and Raum has it on the German left. Good ball from him. On the byline, it's chipped in left-footed towards Gnabry. Havertz able to wrap his foot around it before it went out of play. Sakai miscues the clearance, and Raum is happy to let it roll out of play on the far touchline for a throw, which will be taken by the Germans down by the Japanese corner flag.
That was much better, faster play. Good movement by the German team. Kai Havertz just about keeps the ball in play. But again, got to say, the defending by the Japanese back four has been superb so far. Getting blocks in, getting tight, making sure no one gets a clean effort on goal. So full credit.
Well, I mentioned earlier they kept 5 clean sheets in a row prior to the loss last week against Canada. There's a VAR inspection going on at the moment, checking for a possible penalty, and the check has been completed. No penalty. Throw then taken. Havertz knocks it away. Weren't even any significant appeals from the German players. They were asking the referee exactly what was going on and why he was delaying the restart. They certainly didn't feel that there was a handball in there.
No.
And they were right. Here's Schlotterbeck back for Rudiger. Now Rudiger knocks it towards the edge of the centre circle and prepares just to drive it forward again. Now finds Sula. Don't forget Spain against Costa Rica, the other game in this group, coming up from 4 o'clock. Build-up starting at 3 at the end of this game. 4 o'clock kickoff, Spain-Costa Rica on TalkSport. Belgium-Canada follows that at 7. And then tomorrow, if you've missed any of today's action, the best place for you to be kept abreast with exactly what happened is on the World Cup Game Day podcast, which drops for you when you wake up in the morning. All from TalkSport. Here's Gnabry firing inside the penalty area. Round left-hand side of the box. Pulling it back for Gundogan, who's right for his shot. Blocks, ricochets inside the area. Kimmich trying to help it on. Couldn't do so in a constructive manner. And Japan will clear their lines again. Sula eventually will pick it up and will go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer, in fluorescent yellow, but with a legitimate FIFA captain's armband on. Schlotterbeck. Back for Ilkay Gundogan. It's 0-0, just past the midway stage of the first half here on TalkSport. Just 1-0 in the last World Cup, which was the France-Denmark game, which was, you might remember, an absolute stinker. The 0-0s we've had in this World Cup, we've had another one today, have been better than that. But just for the early glut of goals, not so many recently. Here's Musiala. Trying to do something about that. Couldn't turn away from Ito or find Raum. Sakai clears his lines and it goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the German left-hand side. Game being played at a steady tempo, not spectacular, but steady enough. Germany dominating possession, but it was interesting in the press conference yesterday. Brighton's Karo Mitoma happy to say they've got a weakness against the counter-attack and we will be able to expose it. They have once. Maeda flagged offside, putting the ball in the net. That's all we've seen from Japan as an attacking entity. They're just trying to turn over possession and force errors out of the Germans. They almost did so out of Muller there. Gnabry, though, as he comes back in the next phase and plays a wonderful step over. Muller's done well to supply him with a return ball. Options to his left include Gundogan, who's gone for goal, but perhaps he had better options either side of him, round to his left, and Havertz making a run at inside right, but he went for goal and Gonda could make a comfortable save. Still 0-0.
Well, one thing's clear is Germany have to up the tempo of this game, and I mean that by the pace of getting into positions, move the ball as quick as they can, because once Japan settle, they're very comfortable. And like you said, Jim, if they can pick off the German team at times and rob them of possession, that's when they look their most dangerous.
What's your gut feeling coming into this group as to who will win it? Spain or Germany, the two overwhelming favourites. You'd be amazed if it's either Costa Rica or Japan, although Costa Rica, of course, did win their group in the 2014 World Cup. But Spain or Germany for you?
Spain. I would say I think it just got a little bit more, and I'm not saying that because of what I've witnessed in the opening period of this match so far. I always felt this would be a tricky game for Germany.
Here's Gnabry bringing it forward. Gundogan has done well to win it back. There's beaten Maida round left-hand side of the air, fizzing it across. He came close to finding a man. Next shot comes in from Gundogan, well blocked by a diving challenge on the edge of the 6-yard box. That was really well defended by Yoshida. Now the cross comes in and it's a Kura can head away, and that will go out of play for a throw on the German left. Well,
I talked about up in the tempo. When Ram gets down the left side and whips in balls, that's when Japan are having problems, and they get a little bit fortunate there. They had a couple of really good chances. Again, keeper making a good save. Godin in goal for Japan.
Sula. Now down to the Japanese left-hand side, where they have possession inside German territory. Kubo battling with Rudiger, and the referee again has fouled against Kubo, who's more than happy to put himself about a bit. Takefusa Kubo, the youngster in this Japanese team at the age of 21, he'd be their youngest ever World Cup scorer were he to find the net. Man had 3 years at Real Madrid, but didn't feature for the first team. He had loads of spells out on loan and is now at Sociedad. Here's Sula for Germany, recast in this role at right back. Work down to the edge of the Japanese technical area where Thomas Muller will be able to control it. We haven't really seen the fluidity of movement we were expecting between Gnabry, Muller and Musiala, the three who are playing in that order. Gnabry has stayed pretty much touch tight to the right flank all the way through. And Muller hasn't come out here and Gnabry gone in there, but when they're in possession, which they are at the moment, inside their own half, as you mentioned earlier, they do like to get everybody forward. It's almost a line of four up against the Japanese back four, man for man. Yeah, it is, and I would like to see, I mean, look down the left side. Ram is doing a job of getting that, being that wing back, come left back. Sula's not doing enough for me on the right side, but Gnabry, I think they could take advantage of the right side, which they haven't done often enough. Now Kimmich chipping it in, and Ram's got round the back. He controls it, 6 yards out, goes to ground. Referee gives a penalty. Ball at the feet of Ram. He had so much space. He got in behind Sakai, and the midfielders came across the cover, but not in time. Goalkeeper came out, made a genuine attempt to get the ball. Ram went down, and although it is being looked at by the VAR, the initial on-field decision from Ivan Bartom was a penalty to Germany, and I don't imagine this will be turned over. No, I think this is going to be a pen. I don't think the goalkeeper has made it. He's committed himself, conduct. Josh Kimmich putting a great ball, and Ram, like he's done so often in the first half, makes a rush challenge. I can't see this one being overturned. Well, he wasn't happy, Gonda, and I think Ram did lose his feet. I wonder whether the actual contact that the penalty was given for was as they were both trying to get back to their feet, and Gonda fell into Ram and then knocked him down again. I don't necessarily think the initial contact was worthy of a penalty. They're still having a look at it, but Ilkay Gundogan has got the ball in his hands, and it's just waiting for permission to be able to put it down on the penalty spot. Well, the goalkeeper is anticipating it's going to be a penalty, I think. So far, Gonda just being spoken to by the referee. He's being reminded that he has to have feet behind the line, and the penalty is confirmed. Well, it has been a World Cup of penalties so far, a stack of them. Robert Lewandowski missing one yesterday. Everybody else has put theirs away, and Ilkay Gundogan follows suit. It's Gundogan, it's right footed, it's straight down the middle, and Germany lead. They have a reward for their dominance in terms of possession and territory. They've got the breakthrough. Germany 1, Japan 0. Well, sometimes you need experience. Penalty taker. Okay, Robert Lewandowski missed last night, but got the land there. Calm as you like. A little bit unfortunate for the keeper, Gonda.
gives away a penalty. He really is straight down the middle, but the keeper Gundogan has dived out of the way. A very calm finish from Gundogan.
Very well taken goal by İlkay Gundogan, his 9th for his country since the start of last year. 17th in all. Man has scored in a Champions League final, has now scored in the World Cup. And Germany lead Japan by a goal to nil. Now, how will that change the Japanese game plan? Because clearly they have to be more proactive, and often you'll get sides that play with the defensive mindset that Japan have, who will still feel content to do more of the same, really, and try and soak it up a little bit longer, and then only when you get into the final third or quarter of the game will they be a little bit more proactive. But I wonder whether Japan are going to decide that they've got to try and have more of the ball in Germany territory, because they haven't had a legitimate shot or sight of Manuel Neuer's goal as yet.
Well, they haven't really been in too much trouble, Japan, in this opening period. There's been a few moments, but they've defended really well. And I do feel the theme of this World Cup could easily be penalties, because there's been a number of them so far. And there's going to be a few coin flip scenarios you're going to have to avoid. And Japan were on the wrong end of this one.
Well, he's such a good penalty taker as well, Gundogan. He headed for the spot against England and Italy in the Nations League. Ball knocked away by Sakai, who doesn't play in Germany but used to. He was on the books of Hanover in the Bundesliga, and he's very intelligently made a run forward down the right-hand side. Good 1-2 between him and Ito with his bleached blonde hair. And Sakai's won a corner off round, which will be Japan's third, as they look for an almost instant equaliser. 10 minutes from half-time here on TalkSport. It's Germany 1, Japan 0.
Well, certainly down the right side, Ito and Sakai have been the main threat for Japan.
Five in blue inside the penalty area there. The yellow numbers on the back of the shirts shining. He's easily headed away the corner, and then the back pass from Nagatomo. Did manage to get enough on it from halfway back to his goalkeeper as pressure was applied by Serge Gnabry. And Tanaka will clear, trying to get it over the top of Schlotterbeck, and then the second ball, Kimmich losing out. It was superbly done over on that right-hand touchline, and Japan could bring it forward. Maeda trying to make a run in towards the far post, but as it was chipped in, the retreating Gundogan just calmly chested it down and brought it under control and brings it away. Gnabry then loses out. It's come off Maeda last, and it will be a throw on Germany's right-hand touchline. Hansi Flick, who will be relieved that the breakthrough has come, just handing the ball to Serge Gnabry. Referee Barton is just going across and having a word with Gundogan. He was the perpetrator of the challenge which tried to break up that last Japanese counter. Just a word, nothing more. Talked earlier about the fact that he's a real stickler with 19 red cards in 32 games, but it's not had a bad challenge to have to even contemplate. And no. It's a game that's been played in a very good spirit.
No, definitely so. Look, Germany in this first 35 minutes have been very functional, not much more, and they've got a lead.
Now yet to lose on foreign soil since Hansi Flick took over. The only defeat he's suffered so far, coming against Hungary in the Nations League, is Ito bringing it forward. Don't worry, Hansi, you're in good company there. Gundogan just watching the ball from Musiala come past him in the midfield, but he can still pick it up then from Kimmich, who trotted back to the edge of the penalty area to bring it back under control. And Rudiger has it now, just about 10 yards outside his own penalty area. And don't forget, more games coming up for you later today. Spain against Costa Rica, Belgium against Canada. They kick off at 4 and 7, respectively, part of the 450 plus live games on the TalkSport network over the course of the season. Gnabry towards the edge of the penalty area, fires a shot in that was blocked by Yoshida, comes back out for Havertz on the right hand side of the box, intelligently played down towards Muller, who pirouettes and chips it in left-footed, headed away by Ito, comes back out then for Schlotterbeck, round to Musiala inside the area, trying to make something happen. Out comes the goalkeeper, doesn't get anything on it, and Kimmich might have been advised to shoot. In the end, he played a disguised ball to Muller on the edge of the penalty area. Had he put his foot through that with the goalkeeper out of position. He might have come close. Maybe he just deemed that he couldn't get it through the traffic, but he misdirected the ball to Muller, and Japan get it away, although Germany will build from that little bit deeper and come again. It is wave after wave of German pressure at 1-0.
Well, that was a strange piece of play there. Passage of play that any conviction on a shot, I'm sure, would have caused the Japanese goalkeeper Gonda a problem. Never really showed the conviction to try and score there, Germany.
TalkSport Breakfast live from Doha tomorrow. Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor joining them between 8 and 10 tomorrow, reacting to everything that has happened today, looking ahead to tomorrow's action as well, which starts on TalkSport 2, incidentally. The first game tomorrow, 10 o'clock kickoff between Switzerland and Cameroon. But as always, we've got it all covered for you. Now, the news about Harry Kane from an England perspective is good. He trained today, little bit of pain, said Jordan Pickford, in that ankle for Kane, but he's okay. And that next England game taking place up country from here in Al Bayt, and that's the late game in 2 days' time, Friday night. Japan bringing forward here, trailing 1-0. Decent ball inside the penalty area. Kubo actually couldn't quite get his foot around it in time. It's rolled out of play, might even have been offside as well. But it's gone down holding his ankle after the block challenge on him. But Kubo has had his moments. He's a tempestuous character on the on the Japanese left. He just made his run a fraction early, and the flag up against the play restarts with a Germany free kick for the offside.
Well, Kubo there, a little bit. It's a tenacious player on the left wing for Japan. Couldn't quite keep the ball in play. But I've noticed on this pitch, because obviously this was where the England game was played, and the ball seems to run away from you once the pass is made. It seems the players can't quite get to there quick enough. The surface is really quick.
Yeah, heavily watered before the game, as you would imagine, and a little sign of a bit of degeneration, particularly in the goal mouths. Gnabry down to Sula. Gnabry getting the return ball as well. Now Gundogan. It's Musiala coming in off the left flank. He started playing that a little bit deeper to link up the play. Muller back for Gundogan, scored the first goal. Tries his luck, but sting taken out of the shot with Tanaka's blocking challenge. And it's picked up as a result of that by Gonda. And the first Mexican wave that I've seen in the tournament is emanating around the Khalifa International Stadium, where the lights are on and darkness is contemplating falling over Western Doha. Here's Germany again on the attack. Musiala, Muller laying it off edge of the area, and it's right-footed over the bar and almost into the Japanese supporters away behind that goal from Kimmich's long-range effort, which was decidedly optimistic. Before we go to the break, it's 1-0 Germany.
It's great passage of play there by Germany again. All down the left side. They have been very lopsided, Germany, in this first half, but great interplay round. Got down the left, and Musiala managed to jink inside, feeds it, and Josh Kimmich just can't get the effort on target.
Yoshida whacking the ball forward, upfield, handed away by Schlotterbeck, and there's the Mexican wave that you can hear effectively. You understand what I mean by that. There's another free kick is given Germany's way, and they'll take it inside the centre circle. Taken quickly out to the left-hand side for Raum. Raum chipping inside the penalty area. It's a good passage of play. Japan have got to try and stand firm here until half-time and not concede another, which would give them probably an insurmountable task. Out comes Gonda and successfully claims. There's a massive arch above this stadium. You can see it for miles. Where we're staying on the western side of the city, it's probably about 4 or 5 miles away from here, but you can see the arch, you can see the tower that is lit up at night right next to it, and orange lights are now punctuating the ever darkening night sky, just on the arch of the lights on the far side, and the sweeping curved roofs which look like the inside of a circus marquee above us. The far side of the stadium much taller than this, and like I don't know, like Huddersfield's ground on steroids is probably the best way of describing it. with a huge lower tier on the far side and then an upper tier raised as well. Ball over the top here from Kimmich. Germany looking for a second before half-time. Good movement again from Musiala. Play back for Gnabry. Right-footed away, swinging delivery. Raum heading it back into the fray. Havertz will chase, won't get there. Gnabry with a clever defensive header, just flicking it down, cushioning it towards the edge of the penalty area for Musiala. Musiala working it wide. Raum is there, but Ito's back goal side of him, and he's out by the touchline when he picks up possession. Now it's laid back for Gundogan again. Gundogan dropping his shoulder to get the better of Maida, who had the ball in the net inside the opening 10 minutes, but it was flagged correctly for offside. Now Germany will bring it forward again. Almost a hush falls over the Khalifa International Stadium. Germany so patient. A game that now has the tempo almost of being a training exercise, really, with constant German possession. Japan have got to try and change something to mix it up, because whilst this approach, you understand exactly why it has been planned, why they've done it as they are, they just haven't had the opportunities to turn over possession frequently enough to be able to punish Germany, and they need to be more proactive in the second half.
Yeah, Maida has had really no support. The two wide men either side for Japan, Ito and Kubo, have had their moments, but not much more.
Here's Muller. In the last minute of the first half, won't be too much stoppage time to be added on, you wouldn't think. Musiala onto his right foot, a rising drive which clears the bar and clears the photographers behind that goal as well. Out of play for a goal kick which will be taken by Gonda, and will just about be in first half stoppage time by the time he takes us. 1-0 to Germany on TalkSport.
Gotta say, Musiala, it reminds me so much of Di Maria. Quick feet, looks to get it out, not the biggest upper body, very slight, agile, got quick feet, a little bit unlucky there, blasts it over the bar. He wants the ball, and he's asking, for a young lad, get his opportunity to play with Germany. He's certainly trying to make the most of this occasion.
Well, Sakai is the player that has gone down. I mentioned that we've hardly had a stoppage in this game. We did have the VAR check for the penalty. 4 added minutes. Such is the 2022 World Cup.
Yes, well, I'm sure that'll be a big talking point once this World Cup is finished, about the amount of time that's been added on. I've got to say, the standout player so far for me has been the left back from Germany, David Raum. I think he's made the difference for me.
Yeah, only made his debut at the start of last season, and 13th cap for him today. Given the free kick away on that occasion, though, foul on Sakai. Japan have taken it, worked it all the way back for goalkeeper Gonda. Gonda getting it back again. This is the 7th successive World Cup that Japan have qualified for, having never reached the World Cup before that. They had a near miss back in the 1990s, which was known as the agony of Doha. Played here in Doha back in 1993 and lost the game to Iraq to a stoppage time equaliser, which saw them go out on aggregate. In fact, the current coach Moriyasu played in that game, stopped them qualifying for the World Cup for the very first time, but they haven't missed one since. Here's Musiala towards the edge of the penalty area. Musiala to Muller, setting up. Süle making his way forward. Doesn't fancy getting a shot in, not initially. Now he works it back for Muller, flashes it across the penalty area. He really rifled it at Kimmich. Very difficult one for him to control. Comes back out towards Süle. Süle involved in a 50-50 with Kubo. And Germany get it back again. Gnabry to Musiala. Gnabry making a third man run, but Musiala couldn't supply him with a return ball. And Yoshida, who played nearly 200 games for Southampton, is able to knock it away and just slice it straight out for a throw that will be taken on the German right-hand side. 0-0 in first, 1-0, I beg your pardon, in first half stoppage time. The Ilkay Gundogan penalty on 33 minutes. The only goal we've seen today, finished 0-0 between Morocco and Croatia earlier. Now Rudiger has possession, 20 yards outside his own penalty area, and Germany just seeing it out really from this point. Süle to Rudiger, back for Neuer, who's hardly had anything to do at all, hoping for his 8th World Cup clean sheet today. Controls it, lays it out to the left. Neuer, when Germany take on Spain, will equal the record for the most number of appearances in World Cup history by a goalkeeper, which is currently held by Claudio Taffarel. Germany against Spain, a match that will have such a major impact on this group. It's the late game Sunday. We've got it for you live on TalkSport, kicking off 7 p.m. your time. Neuer has it again. It's between the edge of the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. The ball has stopped, and Neuer has as well. No thought of a forward press from Japan. Eventually he just kicks it out towards Kimmich, who splits the two centre-halves. Now Rudiger plays it forward. Germany trying to inject a little bit of tempo, looking to double their lead before half-time. Good run to the left-hand side by Ram. Ito's tracked back with him. Musiala has it. Musiala, right-hand side of the penalty area. Muller chipping it in towards the far post. Ito heads it down. Kimmich on his left foot through a crowd. Gonda beats it away. Havertz taps it in. As it's played back in by Gnabry, he turned expecting the flag to come up. It hasn't as yet, and Germany in first half stoppage time have almost certainly doubled their lead.
Well, this is going to be a tight call for me. Not quite sure, but a good piece of play, and it was again down the left for Germany. Gnabry really does well, ends up squaring it to Kai Havertz, and I'm seeing a replay. Thomas Muller puts in a cross, they don't clear it. Josh Kimmich makes an effort on target.
No, he's offside.
He's offside. He's definitely offside, Kai Havertz.
Yeah, Gnabry, I think he was hoping that Gnabry would be able to hit the target, and he was there to follow up just in case. He didn't. He put it in, Havertz, but you could tell by the lack of real demonstrable celebration that he thought he was offside. It still hasn't been confirmed as yet, but having seen the replay, it doesn't even look close, to be honest with you. I mean, this is the semi-automated offside.
I can't believe.
Yet it is taking an age, and still they're checking. As the ball comes back in, unless we haven't seen the right angle, as the ball comes back in, it's clear, it's cut and dried. And yes, they have now eventually got to the right decision, and it's chalked off. So it remains 1-0.
Well, I don't know how you can take best part of a minute or so. I think within 2 seconds there, you can tell it was at least a yard offside by Kai Havertz. So stays 1-0.
Yeah, you were absolutely convinced at the time, and then as soon as you saw the replay, it was obvious, Cash, you were right, but it still took them another 30 seconds to get there. 1-0 Germany lead. Both sides have had the ball in the net and had goals disallowed for offside. That's Japan's best moment of the game. Nagatomo whipping in a right-footed cross, and Maeda just coming back to meet it, flicked his shaven head at it, but couldn't divert the header on target. He's missed the far post by a yard, and he goes out of play for a goal kick.
Well, it was a wonderful ball in by Nagatomo. Down the left side, he comes back on his right foot, whips it in. Maeda can't get his effort on target. Flicked header.
And that is the last action of the first half. Maeda having the ball in the net, disallowed for offside, rightly so. Ilkay Gundogan scoring from the penalty spot after Gonda's foul on Raum. And then Germany thought they'd double their lead. Kai Havertz, though, also offside. But we have had a goal in the World Cup today, scored by Ilkay Gundogan from the penalty spot. His third in his last 5 games. And at half-time, it's Germany 1, Japan 0. And they have made a change, and Tomiyasu is on, and you would imagine that means that Japan will go with the back 3 in this second half. Tomiyasu on for Kubo. We are back underway. Japan blue shirts with the yellow numbers and white shorts, and they're kicking from left to right in this second half. Towards the end of the ground, that houses the vociferous travelling Japanese fans away to our right. Germany lining up. Neuer in goals, Süle, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck and Raum, Kimmich and Gundogan, Gnabry, Muller and Musiala, and Havertz is the man that leads the line. Alongside me, Tony Cascarino. Interesting, taking off Kubo, a lively left winger, and replacing him with Tomiyasu, who's playing on the left of 3 centre-halves at the moment. He often plays at centre-half for his country, but clearly they'll be trying to get themselves into a position to be able to spring the wing-backs forward more readily now.
Yeah, and he's a terrific player. What we've seen of him in the Premier League, of getting on the ball and being part of a 3 now, and what you'll see, they're going to have 2 wing-backs. Nagatomo will certainly be on the left side and Sakai on the right. And when they've got possession of the ball, they're going to clearly make runs and get in behind this German team. Let's see if it can work.
So they've got Gonda in goal, Sakai, Itakura, Yoshida, Tomiyasu and Nagatomo as a back five, and then Endo will sit in front of them with Ito, Tanaka and Kamada and Maida up front. Germany able to bring the ball forward here, leading by a goal to nil, looking for more. Musiala, and right-footed effort coming in from a tight angle from Gnabry. Might just have brushed the top of the crossbar on its way over. Thomas Muller doing well to take the ball in his stride, bursting forward quickly, finding the space in between the defensive lines, and he knew that Gnabry was making the run in behind the left-back Nagatomo, and a shot which was very powerful might just have kissed the junction of post and bar on its way over.
Well, the 33-year-old there, Thomas Muller, showed a great turn of pace. He clearly outran Edu, made an opportunity and drove away in the heart of the Japanese back line. Nearly got his rewards.
Yoshida heads it forward. Well, it comes straight back again. Tomiyasu back for his goalkeeper, Gonda, who gave away the first half, which Gundogan put away. And good pressing from the front there from Germany, forcing an error out of the Japanese back line, and they passed it straight out of play for a throw that Germany will take on their right-hand side. If you're just joining us, a protest from the German players before the game started as they posed for the official photograph for this game. All 11 of them covered their mouths with their right hand by way of protest at what they feel clearly is censorship. There's been a statement by the DFB, the German Football Association, during the half-time interval, just reiterating that point and explaining exactly why they did what they did. It wasn't about making a political statement. They said human rights are non-negotiable. That should be taken for granted, but it still isn't the case. That's why this message is so important to us. Denying us the armband is the same as denying us a voice. We stand by our position. Here's Sula for Germany, who lead courtesy of that Gundogan penalty. And Gnabry just going down off the ball, but Gundogan has the ball at his feet, plays it through the middle. Ito, though, has done well to be able to win it back. Given away by Tanaka. Kimmich. It has been noticeable how much time the German midfielders have to be able to play their passes. They haven't had the blue-clad Japanese opponents in their faces as they might have anticipated. Neuer is put under a bit of pressure by Maida, but can still get it away. Rudiger mops up on the edge of his own penalty area, gets it away from Maida for Gundogan, who drops back to split the two German centre halves again, and then Neuer will lay it out for Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck down the German left for Raum, and then Raum playing it forward towards Musiala, who was crowded out of it, and very successfully. Three Japanese players converging on him quickly, and Sakai won it back. Goes back for Tomiyasu. Now down towards Sakai. Sakai turning it round the corner for Ito. Ito getting to the corner of the penalty area. Difficult player to try and shake out of possession. He goes down claiming a penalty. He was able, just as on his way down, to feed Kamada, who got a right-footed effort in, which has taken a deflection and has gone over the bar for a corner. And they're just having a look, the Argentinian VAR, Mauro Villano, at the legitimacy of the challenge on Ito. Well,
it was good to see Ito there come inside, make sure he's running at the heart of the German defence. He gets a reward of a corner, but some good play, and you can already see in the opening period of the second half they're going to be a little bit braver, Japan.
Kamada taking this corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box. All the time it's 1-0. Japan will fancy their chances of getting the positive result that they need. They certainly need one in either this game or against Spain. Long ball launched over the top, high towards the edge of the penalty area. It was Raum who won the penalty. Germany picking pace of play with Gundogan. Now it comes back for Raum again, 15 yards from the dead ball line, coming in off the left-hand touchline, laying it to the edge of the area. Musiala dropping his shoulder, tricking his way through. Still he goes, Jamal Musiala, and he's placed it over the bar. What a goal it would have been. And he covers his face with his shirt because he knows that was a big moment for him. The approach play was majestic. Ball at his feet, slipping it right foot to left foot, dropping his shoulder, committing defenders, leaving two sprawling on the ground, but just too much height on the shot.
Well, it was great playing. He's always looking to get it on his right foot, his favoured right foot. He keeps jinking one way or another and just can't. He's falling back as he strikes the ball and then just goes over the bar.
Well, Germany might feel pretty comfortable, but remember, Argentina had a half-time lead yesterday against Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, the only side so far who haven't had a single shot in the first half of a World Cup game this time around. Boy, did they make up for that. Japan only with one in the first half of this game, which was the Maeda flick header in first half stoppage time that went wide. But nearly every player, in fact every player in the German side, bar Havertz, had more touches than any Japanese player in the first half, which just shows you the overwhelming advantage that Germany have had in terms of possession. 7 minutes into the second half, it's Germany 1, Japan 0. The bright blue skies of earlier day replaced now by much darker hues. Night has fallen here in Khalifa, which is actually in Al Rayyan, just the neighbouring city to Doha. They border each other, border only a couple of miles or so from here. Ball played forward by Tomiyasu out to the left-hand touchline. Strong challenge coming in that concedes a throw. In fact, Germany have won the throw. Gundogan's done well because he's been able to play it off Endo over on that far touchline to make sure that the throw is one for Germany. Had a good qualification campaign. They won 9 out of 10. They did lose 100 North Macedonia, but that was the only aberration that they suffered. They won only one of their 6 games in the Nations League, but without being spectacular, looked okay today. It's been a solid performance from Germany. Japan able to venture forward again towards the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed ball hooked in deep towards the far post, but the angle all wrong as they try to volley it back. Kamada didn't wrap enough of his foot around it, and I think it had probably gone out of play for a goal kick anyway, which Germany will take. 53 gone, Germany 1, Japan 0, and here are the views of a man who played in 2 World Cups, Tony Cascarino.
Well, you can certainly look on the brighter side for Japan. They have got a slightly more adventurous style of play in the second half, with changing their formation and playing a 3 and pushing the wing backs on. Just need a little bit of quality in the final third.
Now Neuer put under pressure by Maeda. He talked about his industry and work rate in the first half. And Neuer was able to get it away, but was involved in a collision in the process. Dyson Maeda, the Celtic man, 4 goals for Celtic this season. His only international goal coming against Ghana back in June, and winning a 9th cap for the Samurai Blue today. Have been knocked out of the group stage in 3 of their 6 tournaments, most recently in 2014. Won their opening game last time out against Colombia by 2 goals to 1. But they're going to achieve a 2-1 win here. They're going to have to do it the hard way. Nagatomo playing it forward, the offside flag up against Kamada. An easy call against the Eintracht Frankfurt man. It's still 1-0 to Germany. Will Hansi Flick be concerned in any way? How's he assessing this performance, the German coach?
Well, it's been functional, Jim. I used that word in the first half because there's been moments and Germany have got the lead. I mean, one thing I would say, as the second half is going to progress, Kamada is trying to join Maeda in the forward areas because he needs a bit of assistance. Germany will counter this, though, I'm sure, over the duration of this second half.
And Gundogan has played a beautiful ball round the corner here for Raum. Raum in turn slipping it in towards Havertz. Goalkeeper off his line quickly. It's bobbled off his knee. He's stranded in no man's land. They try and work it inside the penalty area, but the flag belatedly comes up against Havertz, and it will be a free kick to Japan. Goalkeeper relieved.
Yeah, nearly there. Kai Havertz made a great little run. It just overrun it, and Gonda in goal just managed to get a touch on the ball, and then eventually it's offside.
Japanese with the ball at their feet, play out from the back, down the right hand touchline for Ito. Schlotterbeck, the tall blonde-haired German centre half, had his hands in the back of Ito. The play goes on, down for Musiala. Musiala for the very familiar figure of Tony Rudiger, more than 200 times a Chelsea player and Champions League winner. Now Neuer. Neuer back out to Rudiger. The white sweatband around his left wrist. Back for Neuer again, whose captain's armband was checked before the game, but he is wearing the orthodox FIFA one as opposed to the One Love armband that he and so many other captains were desperate to wear. None of them have as yet. Play stops just for a moment. Musiala just got a knee in his back there as a strong challenge from how Koitakura, the Borussia Mönchengladbach centre-half, who was on the books of Manchester City until July, going in very strongly there and catching his man. Now, changes are going to be made. Japan will take off the left wing-back Nagatomo, and they're going to bring on Kaoru Mitoma, who really has made an impression at Brighton and Hove Albion this season. Nagatomo, who started each of Japan's last 11 World Cup games, coming off before the hour mark. Maeda off as well, and he's going to be replaced by Asano. So Asano and Mitoma on for Nagatomo and Maeda. Japan playing it down the right-hand touchline. Sakai now an opportunity immediately for Asano. Asano to the right-hand side, ball fisted towards the near post, and a diving header attempt flashes wide. That was much better though. Asano making good progress, good movement in towards that near post area, and another German-based player, Takuma Asano, just giving Neuer something to think about within seconds of coming on.
Yeah, Ito down the right, he did that on a few occasions in the first half, trying to get the substitute to just come on. Asano in, and a good effort. It's getting closer.
Just got one goal in his last 9 internationals. Takuma Asano, who was on the books of Arsenal back in the day between 2016 and 19. He didn't play, work permit issues that played a big part in that. Hasn't played any club football since early September because of a knee injury, but he's been given about 35 minutes to make an impression here. Down a half chance for him within seconds of his introduction. So he's playing through the middle. Ito is on the right. The Brighton man Mitoma, who scored in his last 2 appearances for the Seagulls, is on the left. Schlotterbeck has it for Germany, who lead by a goal to nil. Ilkay Gundogan's penalty about 25 minutes or so ago. Ball back for Neuer. Neuer just chipping it out towards the right-hand touchline. Picked up easily by Nicolas Sula, who just has to retrace his steps, but he can chip it forward towards halfway. Coming to meet it on halfway is Yoshida. Winning it back, Endo. But as soon as they win it back, they lose it again, Japan, and Germany will try and break, and that turnover of possession has just meant that Japanese have lost their defensive shape. Musiala's done well to keep it in. 2 touches just on the left-hand touchline. Using the full width of the pitch, but no more here, Germany. Back out for Raum, who won the penalty. His ball in towards the near post is met by a comfortable diving headed clearance from Yoshida. But Germany recycle it in the next phase of play with Kimmich. Kimmich taking it back towards the halfway line. Schlotterbeck down for Raum again. Raum right in front of Hansi Flick in his black and white boots. Now towards Gundogan. Gundogan into the area, right-footed shot, and it's hit the post and gone wide. Well, they scored from the penalty spot in the first half, and he very nearly doubled Die Mannschafts' advantage in the second.
A great opportunity, Gundogan, and there's a little bit more space for Kimmich and Gundogan in the middle of the midfield, and if they break like he did there, and he had a opportunity on his right foot, he tries to place it in the bottom hand corner, hits the post and goes for a goal kick. But a great opportunity for Gundogan.
Well, you've got to go back to 1978 for the last time that Germany, as West Germany as they were then, led a match at half-time in the World Cup and ended up losing it. Here's Gnabry, right-hand side of the area, playing it in. It'll come back to him as his first cross was blocked. Havertz had made his way for Muller. He's just having a conversation with Gnabry about why the ball wasn't played back to him. He'd peeled away, hoping for the pull back, but Germany are asking some pertinent questions now. But here, Japan turning it over, set up a 3 against 3. Mitoma to the left-hand side, Asano, and it's way wide, drifting out of play down near the corner flag. They've had more attempts in this second half than they managed in the entirety of the first, and Japan setting up a 3 against 3 there. Exactly that kind of opportunity that they're playing for.
Yeah, Samo there just can't get his effort on target, but a good break. I do feel though, Jim, I can see a German second here because there's way more space, and when the two in midfield, Gundogan and Kimmich, get on the ball, I think they've got enough pace in their team, they can find their colleagues quite comfortably.
Japan turning it over again. They've had a good 5 minutes here. Asano is waiting in the middle. Ball is played in. Schlotterbeck leant into it to control it with his ribcage rather than his arms, and will be able to bring it away. He's found Gundogan, who's had a good game. Down for Muller. Muller to Raum, and square from him. Germany work it back. Schlotterbeck all the way back for Neuer, who will take a touch. Just calming things down. The 6th most capped German international of all time. It's his 115th appearance for his country today. He's had nearly 500 games for Bayern Munich. Starting his 17th World Cup game out of Germany's last 18. Musiala, feet far too quick for Itakura. And he will just be told no more. He's given a couple of free kicks away in this second half. We're talking about the reputation this referee's got. Boy, did they let you down. Just when he thought this was going to be a card fest today. Not that he's had too many opportunities to produce a card. He's shown more reds than just about any other official in world football over the last 12 months, but not even a yellow today so far.
No, and not really any, it's been tenacious at times, but not much more. There's been no rash challenges. So I think the referee's done really well today. Not really necessary yellow cards. Interestingly, Jim, on the left side, David Ram has not got us forward nowhere near as much in this second half. So he's going to stay at home in his left back, wing back position.
Yeah, they've dropped Mitoma in at left wing back now for Japan, who, when Germany have the ball as they have now with Schlotterbeck, it's very definitely a back five. They've been able to get Havertz offside here. Itakura stepping up. So Mitoma playing as the left wing back, if you like, when they have possession, but by and large it is a five that Hajime Moriyasu's men are playing. Trying to get themselves back into this game. They've only twice picked up a positive result in the World Cup when they've conceded the first goal. I'm hoping to salvage something here. Trailing 1-0. Since it probably isn't the end of the scoring. Ball is played by Yoshida out to Mitoma, who controls it but turns back and finds Yoshida, who sends it forward long, looking for Asano to try and make something happen. And a free kick has been given for a handball against Asano. I think he put his hand up to protect himself, but the referee took exception to that. The ball hit it, and free kick taken by Germany. They're taking it quickly, but Mitoma's been able to mop up. He'll lay it back for his goalkeeper. Played out by Gonda, outside the penalty area through the midfield for Tanaka. Now coming to meet it, Ito laying it round the corner, and Asano will chase after it, and has punted it towards the dead ball line, but Rudiger is quick and strong, and he got himself between the Japanese player and the ball, then protected the space, let the ball run over the line out of play. And it's a goal kick to Manuel Neuer and Germany. 18 gone in the second half here on TalkSport. It's Germany 1, Japan 0. Here's the former Ireland international Tony Cascarino.
Well, I've got to say, Rudiger there is mocking his opposition player in Asano as he runs to the byline to defend, and a strange running style, but laughing as he was running.
Now ball play forward towards Ito, who's offside. Yeah, it is an idiosyncratic running style that he's got, isn't he? He's like the arms, like a cartoon character running through treacle.
Yeah.
But yet he does actually make headway. It looks as though he shouldn't be making headway, but he does. Leon Goretzka is just being readied as one of two German changes that is imminent. I don't think it's going to happen at this break of play as the ball goes out of play for a Japanese throw, which Mitoma is going to take. Germany trying to waste a little bit of time to give them an opportunity to make the change, but they're going to bring on two players together, and the second of whom is hidden from us at the moment is still receiving his instructions down there.
I would say, Jim, one thing is that can Germany go the whole tournament? Look, I know the centre forwards, France won it in '98 with Stefan Gilas, but Kai Havertz, he's been caught way too often offside and been really careless in possession of the ball today.
Japan have it again, working it through the midfield, far and away their best spell of pressure. They got the defensive line another 20 yards up the field. Asano's made a difference since coming on, and he wraps his left foot around this and wins a corner off Rudiger. Japan have had 5 in the game to Germany's 1.
Yeah, well, Asano has come on and he's really trying to get on the ball, getting positions in little spaces, and he's won his team a corner.
Who plays his club football in Germany for Bochum. Goretzka and Hoffman both ready to come on at the next break in play now. In comes this Japanese corner towards the far post. Itakura heading it back in. Neuer was scrambling off his feet, hoping to make a save. Schlotterbeck made sure that he didn't have to. He just headed it away. But Itakura peeling round the back was a decent header back into the fray. And Japan end up getting a throw out of it. Germany will make the double change though first. Goretzka and Hoffman coming on. Müller is coming off, who, as Hugh pointed out to me in the build-up to this game, hasn't played a full 90 minutes since the end of September because he's been struggling with injury recently. So he's coming off. Hoffman for Müller. And Goretzka for Gundogan, I would imagine. Yeah, it's Ilkay Gundogan who leaves the field. So he leaves the field as the potential match winner. But work to do, fresh legs needed here. Hoffman and Goretzka for Müller and Gundogan.
Yeah, two changes. I think necessarily. It's been quite ponderous in the second half from Germany. They've not got their spark and are really going through the motions in some way in this game. They're leading it and they feel quite comfortable. But they're in that period. There's still only 1-0 as it stands.
They're back in action on Sunday. They take on Spain. Spain themselves in action later today. The other game in this group. They take on Costa Rica. It kicks off at 4. The first game in Group E today, and then the second one coming up later. And then Belgium-Canada in Group F tonight at 7. And both of those games are on TalkSport. Build up for Spain-Costa Rica at the end of this game. Germany will be top of the group at the start of it if it stays this way. We're midway through the second half, but Japan on the front foot again. Trying to get the right back Sakai in. Good touch from him. Asano inside the area. Right footed shot blocked by Rudiger. But it's Japan creating the chances now. Showing more attacking endeavour. Great run by the veteran Sakai. And Asano has done more in 10 minutes than mine did in an hour.
Well, that was a fabulous passion of play. Sakai made a direct run, gets down the right side deep, crosses it early, and just can't. Just seeing again the opportunity of Asano to come on. He's had some chances without scoring. Asano.
Kamada, a right-footed away swinging corner which bounces down at the far post, but Itakura can't get it under control. And it rolls through for goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, who calmly bowls it out underarm for Nicolas Sula to try and get Germany up the field. Lost their opener to Mexico back in 2018. Ended up losing 2 of the 3 group games in that tournament in Russia, but they've got a good record by and large. They can hit the ground running in World Cups. Before that aberration against Mexico, they'd won each of the previous 7 opening games that they played in the tournament. And they're 20 odd minutes away from making it 8 out of 9 here. Kimmich helping it forward into the midfield. Musiala is in there battling. Gnabry's on the left now, and Musiala is in a more central position. Jonas Hoffman on the right. That's how they've changed things around. Japan are going to make another change as well. Doan will be coming on. Ito making his way down the right-hand touchline, loses out. High ball swung over the halfway line for Havertz. Not the kind of service he wants, really. And Schlotterbeck then punts it forward to him again in the next phase of play. And Havertz can control this and then play it through the midfield. And this is better. As Gnabry finds Musiala to his right-hand side. Kimmich chipped over the top. Gnabry gets in. Goalkeeper came out, committed himself, got himself stuck in no man's land. Then the shot came in from Hoffman, and he happened to be in the right position to save it. Another one comes in. He beats that one away. Unorthodox goalkeeping by Gonda, but he got away with it. Here they come again with Musiala to Rao on the dead ball line. High ball in, and that's a tremendous save. And then another one on the follow-up. Really good save from Gonda. First header coming in from Gnabry, powered into the ground, and then on the follow-up, he's hit a right-footed effort which has been tipped round the post. Good goalkeeper.
Oh, great play. Musiala was the initial problem, run inside. Kimmich made a great ball, and Hoffman an effort, keeper saves. It was like a pinball there in the Japanese 18-yard box. It's a good play, and that's what Germany have needed, just an up in their tempo.
There was a good ball played in. Gnabry with a header down, and then the rebound fell to him right-hand side of the 6-yard box, and he was up very quickly. Gonda to protect that near post area. Japan About to defend the corner, but still make a defensive change. Tanaka off, Doan on. In comes the corner, which is only Germany's second of the game, and it just brushes off the top of Schlotterbeck's blonde hair. And out of play for a throw. It hit a Japanese player on the way through as well. So the change, Ritsu Doan, another Germany-based player. He's on the books of Freiburg, who've had a wonderful start to the season. They're currently second in the Bundesliga. Joined them from PSV in the summer. And he has come on. So Doan on, and Tanaka is the player that has come off. Germany lead at 1-0. Neuer clearing from just outside his own penalty area. And headed down by Rao. Havertz and Musiala both battling. Gnabry can try and play a reverse ball for Kai Havertz's run. He tries it once and again, but Japan will be able to bring it away. And a big roar of approval as Endo does brilliantly to ride two challenges and then slide in and try and get his teammates going. He does eventually lose out, but when he does so, the referee, who's well-placed, finds in his favour, and there are no complaints from the German midfielders that a free kick's been given against Goretzka. 1-0 to Germany with 18 to go.
Well, that was a passage of play that was really competitive. Tackles being made from both midfields, a lot of bodies around the ball, no one was shirking any challenge. There's still a bit left in this game.
Sano making his way forward into the penalty area again. Will they be able to deliver and find him? It's Mitoma that's charged with it. He's played it back instead towards Kamada. Haven't got the best out of him in the system they've played today. That's a good ball forward. Asano, brilliant save, and then put over the bar. What an opportunity for Japan to equalise. Manuel Neuer coming to Germany's rescue with a tremendous stop. But the rebound really should have been put in. It's a glorious opportunity, and the Japanese substitutes have their heads in their hands. Wonderful opportunity coming Ito's way as it was just fired forward. He's chested it down, right-footed effort, and Neuer diving down to his left, got a strong left hand to it to beat it away. He's still beating towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's an almost inexplicable shank wide by Sakai.
Well, initially Endo's ball in the central midfield, he gets it to Asano, and boy, he's had a few chances and he hasn't been able to convert any of them so far, letting Germany off the hook there. But again, a good bit of play since they've gone for three at the back. Japan, they've really caused Germany a number of issues, especially with the substitutions. Pity if he couldn't finish, Jim.
Gonda playing it forward, and Sakai wins the throw, but he knows that he should have found an equalising goal. He wasn't the man they wanted that to fall to. He's only scored once in 73 appearances for his country, and he's now coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Taki Minamino, former Liverpool Premier League winner, the lone spell at Southampton as well. And he comes on as Sakai is a picture of frustration as he leaves the field. So Itakura is playing on the right of the three centre halves. They're going to get Ito back on the right. He'd ended up playing it inside left in the last 5 minutes or so, and he's now back on this right hand side to take Sakai's position at wing back, and he's won possession very strongly, trying to thread it forward for Doan. Couldn't find him, but it ricochets back to a Japanese player, Kamada, in the midfield. And now they'll work it out towards the left flank. And a chance for Mitoma. Clever reverse ball. Flicked inside the penalty. Oh, it saves! Doan equalises, and Japan deserve it. On the strength of the last 10 minutes, there can be no complaints at all. Doan off the bench and on the score sheet for Japan, and only moments after they missed a glorious opportunity, Doan's in the right place, 6 yards out. Another excellent save from Neuer, but he's tipped it into an area where the Japanese were dominant, and Doan fires it into the net for one apiece.
Well, Minamino's come on, and within a minute he's created this chance by just making a run in behind the back line of Germany. He squared it, he pinged it across the 18-yard box, and I've got to say there's 5 Japanese players in the box. Neuer makes the save, but Doan is there to finish it off. And what a great opportunist goal. There was literally 5 Japanese players in the 18-yard box there. Neuer thinks he's made a great save. He's eventually just palmed it out. Doan is there to finish it.
Ritsu Doan, based in Germany, and he's just scored a huge goal. The celebrations were wild. Every player converging on Doan, and Minamino for his part in it. It was his initial shot that was beaten away by Neuer, celebrating in front of that vociferous pocket of blue-shirted Japanese support away to our right-hand side, in front of a big flag that says Ultra Nippon with the Japanese flag in the middle of it. And all the substitutes just cleared the bench as well, raced down there. What a moment. Germany won, Japan won, and Ritsu Doan's equalising goal ties it up at 1-1 with 15 to play here at the Khalifa International Stadium.
Well, Germany can only play themselves here because they've allowed Japan back in the game. They haven't had their foot down on the pedal in this match in the second half. And I've got to be honest, Japanese coach, he's made some substitutions and they've made a massive difference to this. Changed tactically the formation and brought on more attacking players, and they've been rewarded with an equaliser.
And now Germany are having to chase the game themselves, but they've lost out to Mitoma. And the more Germany push forward to try and turn the 1 point as it now is into 3, the more that might play into Japanese hands on the counter-attack. Here's Kaoru Mitoma. Germany are going to make a double change in a moment, and we're going to see Goetze come on. And Nicholas Füllkrug as well. He's the other player that's going to be introduced. Japan back on level terms. Doan chipping it towards the left-hand side of the penalty area for Minamino. His goal 4 minutes and 9 seconds after coming on. And Moriyasu's substitutions have been brilliant. They started so slowly, but second half they've been excellent and got better as the game has gone on. Minamino chasing down the left-hand side of the area, can't quite get on the end of a through ball. And now Germany will make the changes. So the first player coming off is Musiala. Füllkrug is going to come on to replace him for his competitive international debut. And they're also taking Havertz off. And he's replaced by Mario Goetze, who scored the winner in the 2014 final. And he comes on for his first cap for his country for a shade over 5 years.
I think it's the right choice. I think Kai Havertz has had an afternoon. Hasn't really been caught offside way too many times today. And as the game wore on, he didn't seem to have any impact in this match. Mario Götze has got a chance to show how good of a player he's been over the years.
So Füllkrug is a traditional number 9. Where's 9? He is a number 9. You just look at him and you know exactly how he's going to play. He scored the winner on his debut against Oman last week. He's the second top scorer in the Bundesliga this season. And he's on. And Goetze just buzzing around him. Layoff from Gnabry. Raum, who won the penalty from which Germany scored in the first half. Good ball in. We haven't seen too many of those in the second half. And sliding in Yoshida. Can knock it away and out of play for a Germany corner, which is only their second of this second period. Well, they'll be hugely frustrated if they blow points from here. Remember, the games that they've led at half-time since 1978 in the World Cup, they won 20 out of 21. But they've been pegged back in this. Music to the ears of Spain and Costa Rica, who meet at 4 o'clock. And that's live on Talk Sport. Kimmich to take this corner. Right-footed in towards the far post, and the goalkeeper came out, got himself stuck in traffic, but I think Rudiger and Schlotterbeck both attacked the same ball. It's come off Rudiger and gone over the bar. A disappointing header and out for a goal kick, which will be taken by Japan. 10 minutes for either side to win it. It's one apiece.
We've got a match on here. And I've got to say there, Rudiger, you'd expect him to challenge for the ball. Gonda came to try and intercept, and he just heads it over. There's still a lot left in this game.
Mitoma chipping the ball across his penalty area, but with enough elevation to make it perfectly safe. Itakura will bring it forward from centre half. That's a good ball forward from Itakura. Neuer, though, off his line very quickly. Saw the danger of Ito's run. Germany keeping a high line. Ito onside, but Neuer coming out, sweeping up. Got there right on the edge of his penalty area. There will be some fingernails being bitten in the German end of the ground here at Khalifa. Rudiger If you've been bitten on the bench as well. Disappointing Nations League campaign, 2 by their standards, very disappointing major tournaments preceding it. They don't want to get off to a poor start in this one. They have another corner, Germany, breaking forward down the right-hand side, run by Hoffmann. Can play as a right back or as a right winger. Usually a right back, but he's played on the right wing in the last 2 games for his country. Actually plays as a central midfielder by and large for Borussia Mönchengladbach. But he is on the right wing here, and he will take a major part in this corner. Füllkrug making a darting run in towards the near post. Now it's eventually delivered, and Ito just heads it away very easily, helped further clear by Doan. Sano chases after the loose ball that's played down towards halfway, but Germany are able to win it back, and they will try and make headway down the left flank before Doan comes across, and with a decent challenge gets it away from Goetze. Throw taken quickly by the Germans, 1-1 the scoreline, with Doan equalising Ilkay Gundogan's first half penalty, and then another free kick has been given Japan's way. Schlotterbeck was not happy with the decision at all, but he has caught his man in the midfield, and Endo wins the free kick, which will be taken about 10 yards inside Japanese territory.
Well, they've racked the courage of Germany, haven't they? Japan in this second half. And full credit, especially to the coach. He's realised where his team were falling short. He's made the changes, and it's made an enormous difference.
Free kick is taken and just chipped over the top of the back line. Schlotterbeck is struggling here. Oh, what a goal from Asano! And Japan have turned it around. One ball over the top. Schlotterbeck had switched off. Asano raced onto it. The angle was tight. He's fired it into the roof of the net. And for Saudi Arabia's come from behind win against Argentina. Read Japan coming from behind, potentially to beat Germany. Asano off the bench scores what might be the winning goal. It's Germany 1, Japan 2, and all that pre-game optimism has been thoroughly justified with a tactical masterclass from Hajime Moriyasu in this second half. And the substitutes have been quite majestic.
Well, I don't know how this came about, because David Ram has got caught in the left side. It's been a ball over the top. Solano has had he's had a number of opportunities. It was a very tight call. I wasn't sure if he was offside, but he's been kept on. I think it was Schlotterbeck who kept him on, but Charlo, I've got to say, has finished him brilliantly. He's had a number of opportunities, not taken any of them. He's looked really poor in front of goal, but I've got to say, this finish to give Japan the lead 2-1 is a spectacular one.
Well, he came off the bench just before the hour mark. He's had 6 sights of goal.
Yeah.
The rest of the team have only had 4 between them. But he scored. He scored a huge goal. His 8th for his country, one he'll never forget. And all of a sudden, Japan is 6 minutes away from beating Germany in the World Cup. Germany 1, Japan 2. Free kick to Germany. Left-footed ball in from Rao, misses everybody. Took a touch off a Japanese player on its way through. Just flicked it away from Füllkrug, and it goes out of play for a corner.
Yeah, well, that's a terrific ball in there by David Ram. It was there to be headed in. Just get across somebody, try and get your head to it. They've been rewarded with a corner. Germany in panic stations.
Throwing everybody forward, apart from Neuer. In comes this corner, and away swinging towards the penalty spot. It might drop for Goetze. Goetze trying to get the ball out from underneath his feet. It is larruped away by Yoshida, and he finds touch over on the far side. Well, it's funny how cruel football can be. The last World Cup game that Mario Goetze played, scored the winner in the World Cup final. Wow. 3,055 days later, he comes off the bench, and his side might be about to lose to Japan in the opening game of the tournament.
Well, you can only blame Germany, because they were very pragmatic in the start of the second half. They got themselves a lead, and to be honest, they paid a heavy price, because Japan, with their substitutions, made a huge difference. Minamino, Asano has come on, and now they're leading 2-1. And can Germany find something?
4 minutes to go. It's Germany 1, Japan 2 in this World Cup of Shocks. An extraordinary result it would be for Japan, who trailed 1-0 with 15 minutes left on the clock. Feels like half of Tokyo is in here, and they are in raptures. They cannot believe what they've witnessed, and nor can the German support. Not an awful lot of animation on their bench. Hansi Flick coming out towards the edge of the technical area now. It's a long walk out to the edge of those technical areas, and he's making it as a man is heading for the gallows. Schlotterbeck to Goretzka. Still time. There'll be a fair bit of stoppage time to be added on. 5 or 6 minutes, you'd think. So they've probably got 10 minutes of playing time. Have die Mannschaft to salvage something here. Ball is chipped in by Schlotterbeck inside the penalty area, headed down and then away by Yoshida. Helped further clear by Endo. Doan going up for it, and the ball bent over the top from Ito, I beg your pardon. He's just trying to feather it into the path of Asano, chasing down the right-hand side, but it goes out of play.
The substitutions have made a huge difference. If you're Doan getting a goal, Asano, Minaminas come on. They certainly made the changes necessary. Can Hansi Flick find something in this German team?
Only 5 times in World Cup history, in 67 matches where Germany or West Germany have gone 1-0 up, have they lost? Now Rudiger, goal side, the defender goes to ground. Doan, referee said that he dived. It's not booking for the dive, but no foul. And when the whistle does go now, it'll be a German free kick for a foul by Ram. But again, German centre-halves just switching off. Rudiger, the player that was very nearly embarrassed there. No foul though. Kimmich playing it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Itakura sliding in, trying to get it away. Cleared by Ito. Kimmich in the midfield, heads it back for Rudiger. 90 seconds plus stoppage time. 2-1 to Japan, who've come from behind dramatically to lead this game. Rudiger playing it out to the German right-hand side. Fulkrug waiting in the middle, needing some service. Süle to Kimmich. Süle at right back hasn't really worked for Germany. I know it's a role that he's played for Dortmund for most of the season, but it's really starved Germany of one of their attacking avenues. Germans are going to make another change, and these are inauspicious circumstances for a record to be broken. Yusufa Moukoko, just 3 days past his 18th birthday, off the bench to become the youngest German player at the World Cup. Already the youngest Champions League player, Bundesliga player and Bundesliga goal scorer. And he has come on to replace Serge Gnabry. Germans working inside the area. Goretzka heading a difficult chance wide. We're about to go into stoppage time, and Japan leading by 2-1.
Jim, I'm going to ask you this question, but do you feel that moment of Rudiger when he was mocking the forward when he was running is sort of the lackadaisical approach in the second half that Germany have had to this game? Because he was smiling there as he was running, and he was clearly mocking the Japanese centre forward.
Well, Asano's had the last laugh, you would think. He's scored what at the moment is going to be the winning goal. All eyes on the fourth official. How long have Germany got? They've got 7 minutes. Still haven't mentally been able to calibrate these stoppage times as yet. 7 minutes then for Germany. We're in those 7 now. Germany 1, Japan 2. Kimmich, 20 yards outside the penalty area. It was Austria in 1978, the last time that Germany led a game in the World Cup at half-time and ended up losing it. Is it going to happen here? We'll find out together over the next 6-7 minutes or so. Schlotterbeck back for Rudiger with Talk Sport. Jim Proudfoot and Tony Cascarino talking through the action on what has been an extraordinary afternoon. Khalifa. Won't be as big a shock as Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, but it is up there in the context of the last few World Cups. Haven't had as many shocks as big as this if they can hold on. They're defending stoutly. Well, there's a throw which will be taken over on the German right-hand side, but there's a little bit of, I would suggest, match management going on here. It's Tomiyasu that's down in need of a little bit of trim inside his own penalty area. Hopefully he is okay, but he's just going to be attended to, and that will see the 7 minutes elongated. 2-1 to Japan.
Well, he's another substitute that's come on, Tomiyasu, and done really well. Changed the formation, played in a 3, has allowed the fullbacks to get forward, and it's played its part.
Argentina and Germany both losing their opening games at the World Cup. If you saw that coming, you're a much better person than me. It hasn't happened for 40 years. In fact, the last time it happened, West Germany actually went on to be runners-up in the tournament. They're losing to Italy, and that famous Tardelli celebration. Germany in possession, but they're inside their own half and slightly miscontrolled there by Kimmich. He's given it away, and an opportunity for Asano to bring it forward again, and Rudiger's forced him wide, but Japan just happy to keep the ball. They'll take it down towards the corner flag. The two goal scorers, Doan and Asano, just linking up. Doan, clever reverse ball back. He's been able to find Endo. Endo trying to slip in Minamino inside the penalty area. Schlotterbeck can get it away. And Germany will try and bring it forward with Hoffmann to Süle. Back for Kimmich. Germany's need increasingly desperate. Fast, running out of time. Kimmich sending it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Füllkrug helping it on. Brought down by Moukoko. His ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. It's cleared. Goretzka picked it up, nicked off his toes, and I think Germany felt that there was an infringement in there, and the referee has said don't restart play because the VAR will have a look at it. I think Füllkrug is claiming that he was fouled, and there's a big call here for the VAR. Ball inside the penalty area. Füllkrug trying to nip in. Goal side of Yoshida. My initial view of the replay suggests nothing should come of that, and indeed nothing does come of that. So play will continue, and we played 3 of the probably 8 added minutes we're going to get. Here's Rau firing a ball in that hits Ito and goes out of play for a throw on the German left-hand side, 10 yards from the corner flag. Rau heavily tattooed with his arms and the side of his neck, taking this throw, lays it back for Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck feigns the cross and then turns inside, sets up Rudiger, fires it in from distance, well wide. Japan will be more than happy with centre-halves trying the luck from 35 yards.
Absolutely. Number of these Japanese players who play in Germany, you know, what an honour for them. They've turned the game around, minutes to go. I've got to say, this second half performance has been terrific from them. Everybody's played their part. They're hanging on now. Physically, they've given so much, but full credit. It's been a great performance by Japan.
Oh, we got 2 observers sitting to our left-hand side who are Japanese, and you think this was routine. Just looking at them, I wouldn't be able to watch if I was Japanese, or indeed German in these circumstances. Time, 94 and a half we played. So 3.5 minutes to go. Ball played towards the edge of the area. Füllkrug knocking it on. Oh, just wide. Füllkrug helping it beautifully into the path of Goretzka. Hit it first time, right-footed, keeper beaten, and it's gone wide of the post by a foot.
Well, knocked down. Goretzka comes onto it. It sits really nicely on his right foot. He tries to hit it on the half volley, and he just screws it wide of the post. Really good opportunity there. Quite a direct passage of play. But Germany are still losing 2-1.
Gonda, who's made more saves in this game than any other goalkeeper in the tournament so far, launches it long, looking for a flick on from Asano. They can't hold it up, can Japan, and Germany will bring it forward again with Süle. It's inside the centre circle, chipping it into space. It was a poor ball forward, but then it was a hurried, panic-stricken ball from Endo at the other end, when he might have been able to make good possession. Neuer forced to slide outside his penalty area, just got there ahead of Doan, and Germany will launch it forward towards the edge of the Japanese box. It is Germany 1, Japan 2. We've played 5.5 minutes of added time. Another 2 to go. It's out for a Japanese throw. They're in no hurry to take it. And still, the 500 or so Japanese supporters down the way to our right-hand side, shouting their side on, cheering, banging the drum. And what a massive blow this will be for Germany's World Cup campaign. Eliminated in the group stage 4 years ago. Is it going to happen again? Well, they've got a free kick, and Neuer, who's done it all in his career bar score, has come forward for it. This potentially is now or never, and the referee from El Salvador, who's refereed the game very well, is going across and reminding all the players, no pushing, shoving, grappling, it's all being watched. The free kick is 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline. The one-man wall is a pace in from the bottom right-hand corner of the penalty area. Everybody for Japan is back. Germany have 5 in the box. They have 2 in the D. They've got Neuer on the edge of the penalty area, and only Raum isn't within 30 yards of goal. Neuer makes a far post run, full crook as well. It's flung in there towards him. Schwalbeck can't get hold of it. Norcom Sula, and it's gone out of play for a corner. 2 Japanese players down inside the 6-yard box, and this will just lengthen the agony. Both need to be attended to. Itakura is down. He's picked up a sore one. I think the other Japanese defender is down with a touch of cramp maybe. And Germany didn't get it right from the free kick. Can they get it right from the corner? We have played the 7 prescribed extra minutes. Of course, that is a minimum. In comes the corner. It's a deep one. It's punched clear by Gonda outside the penalty area. Germany have got nobody back. Hoffmann can work it back round the corner. They'll come again with Schlotterbeck. Neuer still forward, goes out of play for a German throw, but there is no time to take, and the Japanese bench empties in utter delight and jubilation. With 15 minutes to go, they were trailing Germany by 2 goals to trailing Germany by a goal to nil, but substitutes Doan and Asano both scored, and it is richly deserved. A tactical masterclass from Hajime Moriyasu. Made the changes in personnel, made the change in formation, and his side got him over the line. Every Japanese supporter on our monitors is in tears. Back in 1993, they talked about the agony of Doha. They're back nearly 3 decades later, and they have seen the miracle of Doha. Utter despair as far as the Germans are concerned. Tears in their eyes as well, but of a very different nature. They leave the field knowing how difficult it is going to be for them now in a group that contains Spain, their next opponents. They're 3 points adrift of Japan, who have just pulled off an almighty shock. Not just the result, but the manner of it as well. It might pale in a slight insignificance in terms of Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, but this is still one of the big World Cup wins of the last 50 years. Germany 1, Japan 2.